Okay, well, welcome everyone. Today, we of course have our colleagues in North and Central American region. We actually also have some of our colleagues from the European region. So, welcome everyone. Happy to have you. My name is Angela Bijay. I'm the manager for loyalty programs in North and Central America. Regardless of what region you are from, I'm always happy to help. So after this session, feel free to reach out to me, or I can always get you in contact with those who can help. But regardless, happy you are here from wherever hotel you are from. Welcome to the All Meeting Planner Program Updates, Refresher, and 2025 offers, or moving forward, should I say. We will be calling it the All Accor Meetings and Events Program Updates, Refresher, and 2025 offers. Yes, we finally have a big program update for you, some enhancements that have come to the program. And so, what I will explain this morning is first, we're going to start with of course, the program update. So, all the changes, for those of you who did receive my memo last week, we're going to go over those. Then we're going to get right into the membership itself, the eligibility within the program, points overview, redemption opportunities for our members, the value of our points compared to some of our competitors, current promotions we have in market, as well as the resources you have to sell the program and your hotel. So, starting off with the program update. So, as of tomorrow, September 10th, All Meeting Planner will be fully integrated into All Accor. So, what does that mean? First, the debranding of All Meeting Planner. So, going forward, please refer to All Accor as a way of earning and redeeming points on eligible groups, meetings, and events instead of referring to it as a dedicated program or offer. So in the past, you've heard me say, even though All and Meeting Planner are two different programs, it's really you're designating yourself as a meeting planner within your All membership. Now that is not the case. It is simply every All member now, well, starting tomorrow, has the eligibility to earn through meetings, events, and groups, which is great. And I just wanted to point out here, I have this screenshot here of the back end. Central has already changed the labeling of those points in members' accounts. So going forward, instead of it saying meeting planner points, it will now say meetings and events points. One thing I did want to kind of call out is that even though we know now meeting planner is now a part of all, so generally it is just one program that you're earning, your individual stays, your business stays, and your groups and events within one program. We do realize that the earn through meetings and events is completely different than your regular earn through your, leisure stays, business stays, your individual stays. So we know for meeting planner, every €2 equals one reward point and one status point earned, whereas through your individual stays, it's a completely different threshold of earn, and depending on your different status levels, you earn more points for your individual stays. If you're silver, gold, platinum, so forth. With meetings and events, I was about to say meeting planner. With meetings and events, regardless of your status in the program, you will always earn 1 point for every €2 spent, regardless of status. So just to ensure when you're talking to your clients about um, the specific meetings and events earn, please ensure that you are saying all Accor meetings and events, just to ensure that there is a differentiating factor there. So you'll see me talk about M&E, meetings and events. A lot of our collateral will still say, of course, all Accor, but it will still have that little, subtitle of meetings and events to ensure that we're talking about the right kind of earn. So just keep that in mind when you're talking to your clients. And enrollment changes. So great news, no need for separate registration as an all member to be eligible to earn through M&E. So before, as you know, you'd first have to enroll as an all member and then register yourself within your all account as a meeting planner, which would be another separate registration. So there was a bit of headache there, a bit of confusion. But again, starting tomorrow, no more of that. I can hear the applause in the background already. Very exciting stuff. And of course, you will no longer need to actually enroll your All Core members into Meeting Planner or even check to see if they are Meeting Planners anymore. As long as they are an All member, they are eligible, which is great and will save you a bit of time as well. Now, one other thing that is key to note that the point transfer feature through Meeting Planner is coming to an end at the end of this year. So, fortunately, one of the features in Meeting Planner was that they could transfer their points to other all members. So they could register up to, I think it was 15 beneficiaries and do 30 transfers per year. Again, unfortunately, that is going away. So if you have clients that have done this in the past, that you know have transferred their points in the past, or you know of members that, let's say, we're going into Q4, right? There's going to be a lot of holiday parties. There's going to be end of the year parties, things like that. I would just ensure when you're talking about those negotiations that you let them know that they must transfer their points by the end of the year. One thing, however, that I will say is and I hopefully it's coming in 2026, but Central has mentioned that they're working on the ability to allow companies to have pooled accounts. Within All Accor. As it stands right now, we know companies do this today, and they'll assign one person to be under the All account. And they're the ones that'll, get the points for the company, and then they transfer those points to, other members within the company, or they use the points to benefit the company for like just trying to think of, for future events, they'll redeem their points, or a lot of companies will literally just donate their points for the charitable donations we have on all.com. So again, even though the end of point transfer is ending this year, Central is working on the ability to allow companies to have those pooled accounts and therefore give them those company accounts the ability to transfer points within that. So even though this is going away for individual members, this is going to come back in some kind of capacity when we have the ability for those larger company accounts. So stay tuned for that. Of course, once I know anything, I will let you know. I do not, unfortunately, have an ETA on when that is happening. But again, exciting stuff to come. There are more enhancements coming to the program, so stay tuned for that. But overall, this is really exciting stuff. And moving on to the All Accor M&E membership. So old olden I don't say olden times. Before, as of today, technically, all Accor members to become a meeting planner would have to, like I said, become an all member, and then within their all account, become a meeting planner. So that's separate registration. However, starting tomorrow, what do you have to do to earn meetings and events? Literally just become an All Accor member, and that's it. Any members that have not signed up for Meeting Planner, so they're simply just All Accor members, starting tomorrow, it'll just be open to them. Um, there will be a communication sent out September 18th to all Accor members explaining their ability to earn on meetings and events. So that will be announced on the 18th to those members. And of course, as you know, there's two ways to join: directly at the hotel or on all.com. And one thing I do want to point out is, ensure that your sales colleagues, the front desk, any kind of, front facing touch points that you would be talking to clients or guests, ensure that you have your hotel specific QR code. That QR code, which also has a link as well if you're sending out emails, if a client were to use that QR code or that link to register themselves as an all member, your hotel will get credit for that enrollment or that recruitment, which, as you know, all of you have those goals for the end of the year. So that QR code and that link can be downloaded through ACDC. If you have any troubles with that, let me know. I can certainly help with that. Or Julie and Denise from the operations team can also help with that as well. But just ensure that you have those tools on hand so your hotel will get credit for that recruitment. And as you know, these are 6 status levels within All Accor. One thing I kind of like to point out is our simply because of the sheer spend that our planners spend at your hotels through meetings and events, they earn higher tier status within all pretty quick. So, for example, I have or I should say, a member could spend 33,000 USD or approximately 28,000 euros within a calendar year and receive platinum status just from that spend. And as you know, that could well just be one event, one wedding. That could be, a bunch of small events. Regardless, they will earn that status, and then therefore they can use that status benefits on their individual stays. So those are those early check-ins, late checkouts, suite upgrades, so on and so forth. This is just kind of another way to sell the program. So, if you have a client in front of you and you've enrolled them in all, and you say, you know what, I see that you're spending X amount of money with us. I just want to let you know you will be receiving gold status after the invoice is paid in full, or platinum, diamond, what have you. So again, just another way of when you're talking to your clients and you realize the amount that they're going to be spending. Hey, by the way, you're going to be receiving platinum and you'll receive these benefits. So again, just a really good selling point to kind of point out to your clients. And eligibility within meetings and events. So this is pretty straightforward. Of course, business groups, DMCs, site inspection companies, corporate events, association groups, Smurf groups, catering events, as long as it's tied to the meeting room rental or the group room block. So it's being routed to a master account. Private events such as weddings, birthdays, family reunions, sporting and entertainment events all qualify through meetings and events. The only groups that do not qualify are tour groups. So for my Canadian hotels, those would be those John View, the Rocky Mountaineer tour groups, essentially any group that is a third party where the client is actually paying that third party and not the hotel directly, that would not qualify for meeting planner points. And the magic number you need to remember is 8. So as long as there are 8 rooms on peak night or 8 participants within the meeting room booked, it qualifies for meeting planner. Or sorry, meetings and events points. I have to get used to not saying meeting planner. I apologize. And of course, the meeting organizer does not actually have to attend the event to earn the points. And qualifying and non-qualifying charges. So again, very straightforward. So accommodation charges qualify, food and beverage qualifies, like I said, as long as it's tied to the meeting room or the group room block. The meeting room rental fee qualifies, as well as any incidental charges that are routed to the master account. And one thing I want to point out is I've had a couple hotels come to me and say, hey, Angela, as a part of negotiation, we waived the meeting room rental fee because they're spending a lot on, let's say, F&B or, accommodation, what have you. And they say, so does that mean this group doesn't qualify anymore because I've taken out the meeting room rental? Let's say they only had F&B. And I say to them, no, it absolutely qualifies. Even though they're not, you've waived the meeting room rental fee, they're occupying the space with purchasing something else. So obviously they won't earn points for any kind of fee with that room because it's at no cost, but they can absolutely still earn points on the food and beverage included in that contract. So just FYI, of course, that will still qualify even if you've waived the meeting room rental fee as a part of negotiations. And then non-qualifying charges. So, of course, no-shows do not qualify. Taxes and gratuities do not qualify. And anything miscellaneous or third party. What I like to say, if the service is not being provided by the hotel themselves, it does not qualify. I know some Fairmonts in our region have contracts with AV vendors, and, technically they're employed by the hotel because they're getting paid. Regardless, it's still a third party and it does not qualify. If you ever have any doubts, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to work that out with you. And the points overview for meetings and events. So, as we know, for every €2 spent equals 1 point, 1 reward point, and 1 status point at the same time. And because we know taxes do not qualify for meeting planner points, they must be calculated on the pre tax amount of the invoice. And because we rely on hotels to manually post those points, points should only be issued upon full payment of the event. And just so you are aware, Fairmont brand, specifically outside of Asia Pacific, so that's including my European hotels on the call today, and Swiss Hotel Chicago in the North American region, have an earning cap of 60,000 reward points per event. That cap is remained in place. I know there's been a lot of talk about removing that cap or if it's changing. As it stands right now, it is still in place. Central is still talking with Fairmont Brand to see what they can do about that cap and if it can be changed or eliminated. Regardless, it still remains in place for all the hotels on this call today. So meaning that when you go to post the points in ACDC, you still have to do that manual calculation because ACDC will not automatically cap you at 60,000 reward points. It will post whatever amount you're inputting into the system. So you need to calculate what will equal 60,000 reward points every time if it does in fact go over that 60,000 when you do your calculation. So the next slide is actually about calculating points. So how you calculate, I have the manual calculation here. I have an event that totals 7,800 USD. Doesn't matter what currency you are operating in, the first step, you always have to convert it into euros. So for, in this case, for USD, it equals 6,654 euros. And because we know for every €2 spent equals 1 point, we're going to take that amount and divide it by 2. So we know for this event, the member earned 3,327 points. I also have the calculators available on the All NCA Teams group. These calculators, they're Excel docs, and you just kind of input the amounts. It'll tell you exactly the amount of points that the member will receive, as well as the cost to your hotel. Now, I do have two versions of these calculators, one for Raffles, Sofitel, PME, and Ennismore in the NCA region, as well as a Fairmont and Swiss Hotel Chicago version, which will cap you at 60,000 reward points. So just ensure that you're using the correct calculators. And I also have again, for my North American hotels, I apologize for my European hotels that are on this call today, but we do have them available on different currency tabs. So within each calculator, you have the USD tab and the CAD tab. So for Canadian and USD, just ensure you are using the correct one and updating that conversion rate to the whatever today's conversion rate is. And one thing I would like to point out for hotels to ensure that they have this in their back pocket is you have the ability to award courtesy points as a way of securing business. So think of it as an added bonus. You could do a signing bonus. Let's say you have a client that is, I don't know, produced hundreds of thousands of dollars for your hotel within the year, or you just want to recognize them, you are certainly welcome to award them courtesy points as a thank you, or like I said, as a part of negotiation, so like a bonus. So hotels are charged that exact same €0.02 per point, as well as measure the return on investment to ensure the cost of the points makes sense, of course. And I have an example here. For example, offering 10,000 courtesy points, like I say, as a bonus or what have you, it'll cost your hotel approximately $220 USD. So again, if it's a contract that is going to bring tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to your hotel, you know, just adding this extra bonus on top of whatever we have in market would be an excellent idea. Now, before we go forward with how to actually award courtesy points, I'm going to bring in my colleague Julie from the operations team. I know there's been a lot of questions about the transition from Hotel Link to ACDC, and there's been a bit of confusion there. So, Julie, if you don't mind kind of giving an update on what's happening with the transition and what hotels need to do if they run into some errors.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Angela, and hello, everyone. So, as Angela just pointed out, and as some of you may have already noticed, when connecting to Hotel Link, there's this pop-up that comes up that mentions that the tool will be decommissioned. At this stage, we're looking at a decommissioning by the end of the year. So moving forward, what we recommend is for any courtesy points or meeting planner points to be credited via the new platform, which is, it's not a new platform in and of itself, but it's been augmented with new features as we rolled out the decommissioning of Hotel Link, and that platform is ACDC. So in order to credit courtesy points and meeting planner points in the ACDC platform, there are a couple configuration steps to take. So anyone at the hotels in this role of crediting the courtesy points or the meeting planner points would need to have a manager type profile already existing in Hotel Link, and then get a H003W or H004W or even potentially an H005W profile set up in data web. What's really key and what we've seen so far is that some hotels do complete these two steps, but there is the Hotel Link username that is lacking, missing in the data web configuration of the profile. So anyone at your hotel with the necessary credential to update or create TARS users, uh, ACDC profiles will need to copy paste the user's Hotel Link username in the profile description. There's a field that's meant for that, and that helps the systems communicate and enable all the features to be displayed. So quick recap, you need to have a valid Hotel Link user that is a manager type profile, and you need to have an H003 or higher type profile in data web with your Hotel Link existing user um, embedded in the backend in the designated field. Again, Angela has already mentioned it, but Denise and I are at your entire disposal to help you with these steps. We will, as Angela sends the recap of the call, we'll also send the step-by-step guide if you missed it in the email we sent a few days ago. So it's a necessary step in order for everyone to be all set and ready to go once Hotel Link is decommissioned. So of course, the sooner the better. It's just these quick steps to follow in order to be able to credit the courtesy points and the meeting planner points moving forward. And
Thank
that's
you.
it. Thank you,
Thank
Angela.
No, thank you, Julie. I know there's been a lot of confusion with that, and I am certainly no expert, to be honest. So I really appreciate you coming on and explaining the process, and what hotels have to do. Like Julie mentioned, I will be including that email with the instructions when I send out my recap. To be honest, my recap might be sent out tomorrow morning, so I apologize for the delay on that. But regardless, I will be sending it out, and you will have that. To go ensure that you're able to post those points. And when Julie said meeting planner points, she absolutely meant meeting and event points, right?
Of
Yeah.
course I did. I was testing everyone.
Thanks,
Thanks, Angela.
Julie.
It will sink in.
It's gonna take a few minutes. I apologize, everyone.
I apologize.
So here I have the process for awarding courtesy points. Like I said, I will be sending out this presentation afterwards, so I'm not going to go through the exact process, but you will have this step-by-step guide on exactly how to post the credit within ACDC, and it is very simple and user-friendly, as long as it's set up in the back end correctly, of course. And how to post meeting and event points in ACDC. So it's pretty much exact similar to courtesy points, with the exception, of course, you're clicking on now. I talk about the transition from saying meeting planner to meetings and events. I will say within ACDC, at least as of yesterday, it still does say meeting planner points in ACDC. I have this gut feeling this won't be changed for a while. I could be completely wrong and wake up tomorrow and it's all changed, and that would be wonderful. But I do have a feeling that with changes within ACDC does take a bit more time. So regardless, just ensure that if you see any kind of legacy thing that's labeled as meeting planner, it is meetings and events points. So just ensure you're aware of that. One thing I did want to point out, like I said, I'm not necessarily going to go through every single step here because it's written out here for you. But for those who don't know, or new colleagues, I have the example here, that screenshot under the number 2, that shows an example of a membership number. So it's 16 digits. So it could be numbers or letters. And when a member earns a different status, so if they either earn, a higher status, or let's say they get downgraded because they don't have as much activities in the past year, their member number can absolutely change. It's comprised of bin number, status number, PMID, and security code. Everything but the PMID will change. So, or can change when they change status. So just be aware of that. I have had colleagues reach out and say, oh, it's really weird that my client's number changed. Why is that? It's because they more than likely change status, essentially. However, like I said, that PMID within that member number will never change. So regardless, just ensure you're checking that. If your client ever questions why their number changed, or why it looks different, but that PMID will never change. So just FYI on that. And then redemption options for our members. So, of course, we have our simple individual stay offer, that this gentleman is always super happy to see about. For every 2,000 points redeemed equals 40 euros, or approximately 46 USD, off in discount in our hotels. The great thing about this offer is there are no blackout dates, it's valid for all room types, and it's per threshold of 2,000 points. So for example, 2,000 points equals 40 euros off, 4,000 points equals 80 euros off, so on and so forth. Now, I do need to point out, I believe it was last year, Central actually changed the minimum. So members actually have the ability to start redeeming at 1,000 points for 20 euros. However, once it hits that 2,000 mark redemption, it then goes in increments of 2. So for example, you can redeem 1,000 points for 20 euros, but you can't redeem 3,000 points. You can't redeem 5,000. It has to be in increments of 2 after that first redemption. I believe Central did this just for those members who had a smaller point balance, and maybe they did a lot of our partnership conversions, but had a very small amount of points left over from that. So they just wanted to give them the ability to redeem at least a little bit to ensure they were able to get the most out of their points. So just FYI on that as well. And we know this is a best in class offer because a lot of other hotel brands outside of the company will, work off certificates where, you have to kind of pre-think, I want to think about redeeming my certificate for this stay in the future and hold on to it and so on and so forth. Sometimes they'll ask you to redeem more points because it's a peak season, things like that. This, you can redeem if you're booking your stay on all.com and you're logged into your account. It'll actually ask you if you'd like to redeem now. You don't have to then. You can actually wait until you get to the hotel, and upon checkout you can redeem your points. So it's at any point during the booking and stay you can actually redeem those points. So it's really easy and simple for our members to kind of go through. And the other redemption for all Accor members. So like I just mentioned, the individual hotel stays, of course, they can redeem for our limitless experiences or dream stays available. They can also redeem through any of our partnership opportunities. So airlines, ticketing, retail, car rental, any of those conversion points as well. They can choose to donate their points to any of the charitable donations we have available on all.com. As it stands, like I said, right now, they can transfer their points to other all members. However, like I mentioned earlier in the call, this will be ending after December 31st, 2025. So after the end of this year. Like you're gonna hear me say it about a million times, so you're gonna hear me say it once more. Please ensure you are telling your clients that this is happening. There was an email communication sent out yesterday. It was supposed to be sent out August 27th. Unfortunately, something happened at Central, some kind of glitch, that the email to all meeting planners only went out yesterday. So meeting planners yesterday should have received an email that explained the changes of meeting planner being integrated into all, and then also talking about the end of point transfer. However, I, I could be wrong. I need to check with Central to see if they're going to be sending a reminder before the end of year. I doubt they will, but I will ask regardless. I will be sending out a memo to all of you to ensure that you're reminding your clients before the end of the year. I'll probably send it out closer to maybe the end of November, beginning of December, just to kind of give it about a month. But like I said, just ensure you are widely communicating that this is leaving. I know Central will not be making any exceptions in the new year. So I cannot tell you enough. Please, please, please ensure you are telling your clients this. And then the other thing that meetings and events earners, I was going to say meeting planners, have the ability to do is reduce the master bill of an upcoming event, meaning they must have the points within their account first to then redeem upon a future event. So right now there's a rule to this. It's up to 15% of a master bill capped at 1,500 euros. So that means if 15% is equal to less than 1,500 euros, whatever that amount is, that's the amount they will get off. If the 15% is more than 1,500 euros, then the redemption is capped at 1,500 and they can only take off 1,500 euros. We know, especially for Fairmont brands specifically, and in North America in general, I can't speak to Europe, unfortunately, but specifically for Fairmont, we know this is quite a small amount. It's really not even a dent into most of the events and groups that come to those hotels. So Central is a part of the enhancements coming in the future. They are working on increasing that amount. There are some different conversations going back and forth on what exactly that will look like. And again, I do not have an ETA, but of course, once I have been notified, I will let you all know what the changes will be. But again, more exciting enhancements to come and more opportunities for our members with large point balances to actually use a good amount to reduce a master bill of an upcoming event. And that'll also be coming with, I believe, the ability for master accounts for companies as well, because they will obviously have a larger bucket of points to spend on future events. And the value of all Accor points compared to some of our competitors. So here's this graphic. I have this available in a PDF, so you are more than welcome to use this when you're emailing your clients. You can print it off, and when you're speaking to them in person, fully showcase exactly the value of our points. Here I have an example of a 100,000 USD event across all of the major players, at least in North America anyway. These are our main competitors: Marriott, IHG, Hilton, Hyatt, and all. What I really want you to pay attention to in this is the total value of points earned. So on this $100,000 event, the points that members in general will get back through Marriott is only equivalent to $450. IHG 300, Hilton 550, Hyatt 800, and as you can see through all, our points are worth 1,100 points. Or sorry, $1,100 in redemption value. So straight on paper, this showcases that it doesn't matter how many points the other companies are throwing at your clients and promising them, show them the value of those points and what they get in redemption. Fancy numbers look great on paper, but what are they worth at the end of the day? And ours are best in class, hands down. So again, you can absolutely use this graphic, show your clients, especially if they're wavering between, one hotel or the other. Definitely use this to your advantage. And current promotions we have. So we'll start with the raffles and Fairmont specific offer we have in market, the Let's Make It campaign. So like I said, this is specifically for raffles and Fairmont brand. There are 3 benefits to this offer. So these are for events and meetings paid and held by December 31st, 2025, so end of this year. They the first benefit I should say is a percentage off the master bill. So this is to be determined by the hotels themselves. Um, to be honest, within the North American region, I think the most I've ever seen is 3%. I might have seen a 5%, but I think that was a quite a large event. Again, whatever's within your budget to offer. I've seen anything from 1 to 3, maybe 5%. So again, whatever is best for your hotel, you can absolutely offer. They will be earning 2 times reward points. As well as they have the choice of an additional benefit. So again, chosen by the hotel, whatever is most meaningful to your client and what, again, you have the ability to offer within your budget. So that could be anything from waiving the meeting room rental fee to offering 10,000 courtesy points as a bonus. Again, it's whatever is most meaningful to them and what makes sense for you to offer as a hotel. This is a registration-based offer. So they must register for this offer in addition to also being an all Accor member. So just ensure that they are a member, of course, and that they specifically separately register. Bonus points are awarded automatically. So that double points, you do not have to double the amount you're inputting into ACDC. You don't have to do anything different. As long as they've registered for the offer, the system will recognize that and automatically post the reward points, the bonus reward points. And these points are being funded by Raffles and Fairmont. So it comes at no additional cost to the hotels to offer. And then, of course, the offer assets, sell sheets, email signature banners, and more are available. I do have the link in this presentation that you will all receive. And just so you are aware, the sell sheets are completely customizable. You can input the benefit, you can input the percent off the master bill. You can input your hotel's enrollment QR code if you wanted to on that. This QR code would be going to the registration page offer, which of course they still need as well. But it's something else you could add if you want to. So these are completely customizable and come in a wider range of image selections as well, depending on the meeting or event that you are promoting to. And another offer we have, so this is specifically to North America. Within the region, we do have an all over double point offer for meetings and events, same as the Fairmont raffles. This is for all bookings and events paid for and hosted by the end of this year. This is also a registration-based offer. So again, they must register as an all member and then register for the offer itself. There's nothing specific needed for that registering for the offer. All they have to do is just click. I think it's activate offer. It's just one button and it'll just activate on their profile. So they don't have to input any information. It's just a one-click button. And like the last offer, the points are set up automatically to post, so you do not have to do anything special or different in ACDC. And the bonus points are funded by the region ourselves. So again, it comes at no additional cost to you to offer these points. And then the last promotion we have, it's actually a new promotion. It's a central offer. So this is the meet, earn, repeat offer. So members can earn up to 20,000 bonus reward points. Their first event, they'll earn 3,000 points. Their second event, 7,000, and their third event, 10,000. This is for registrations and bookings between September 18th of this year until January 31st of next year, and for events that take place between September 18th of this year and June 30th of 2026. So this is a bit of a longer booking window. The reward points are being funded by Central. So again, it comes at no additional cost to hotels, and collaterals for this offer can be found in the link in this presentation that you will receive. Now, one thing I really wanted to point out to you guys is that members can only benefit from one offer at a time. So regardless whether or not they've registered for the double point offer, Let's Make It campaign, and the Meet, Earn, and Repeat and campaign, they will always receive or benefit from the most generous offer. So just so you are aware, the September 18th email that I spoke about earlier in the presentation that Central's sending out on the 18th, that talks to, it's being sent to all members globally, just all Accor members, just announcing that they have the ability to earn meetings and events through their membership. They're also going to be advertising this offer. We did talk to them and try to get them to customize for our region, specifically for the double point offer, because honestly, 9.9 times out of 10, our double point offer will yield more points than this offer. I just want you to be aware and ensure that your clients aren't confused, that they can not only, that they can maybe think that they can get double points and this offer. They can only benefit from one. What I would suggest is kind of doing the mental math. If they come to you with this offer, see how much they're spending. If the double points is going to be more than, let's say, their first event is 3,000, I mean, the first event, they would have to spend under 6,000 euros for this offer to be better than the double point offer, which again, for most of the hotels I'm speaking to on this call, 6,000 euro, it's nothing, especially when it comes to Fairmont and events. So regardless, I just want to warn you, you might have clients come to you with this offer. Just ensure that they know that it's one offer per event, and it'll always be the one that yields the most points. So just ensure that they are registered for the correct offers, and they understand it's just one offer at a time. And resources you have to sell the program and your hotel. So we have the all NCA group on Teams. I know the Fairmont and Raffles brand, they have their own SharePoint as well. And if there's anything that I have in my NCA group that our European hotels would also like to utilize, you are more than welcome to ask. I can add you to the group if you would like. Of course, just be warned that a lot of our stuff is North American voiced. So just understand that. But again, you are more than welcome to customize that to whatever audience you're talking about. So I'm more than happy to share our assets. Here you will find program sell sheets, offer flyers, quick reference guide to crediting points, internal training and client presentations, the all Accor M&E contract clause. And if you have any issues accessing the toolkit or need assistance on finding an asset, please reach out to me. I am more than happy to help. And that, my friends, was the All Accor meetings and events refresher training. I don't think I saw any questions in the chat, actually, which is, oh, never mind. Here we go. There are questions. Will there be a loyalty plan for travel agent partners in the near future, similar to famous agents? Oh, you're speaking to my heart, Valerie. I used to be the famous agents person globally at one point, actually, before we were with the core. I believe there is. It's a bit different. I know the internal name is Hera. I know travel agents do. I got to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know there aren't points involved. They do benefit from, I believe, um, a travel agent rate for their individual stays. Um, do you know, and Valerie, you don't have to come off mute, but I believe there's a Travel Pros website through all.com that gives a bit more information. So travel professionals, a core, if I find the link, actually, maybe I'll find the link, and I'll put it in this chat for you. If you have any further questions on that, Valerie, I unfortunately don't have a lot of answers for you. However, I can get you in touch with someone at Central that knows a lot more. So if you don't mind just sending me a quick note, I can get you in touch with those if you're interested. And William, I have a few clients. I was going to submit planner points for today. Since it's integrating tomorrow, it would be likely to be preferred to submit them. And yeah, I honestly, William, I would wait until tomorrow, maybe, if they can wait. Simply because if you run into any, they're not registered as a meeting planner or what have you, I would just wait until tomorrow if it can wait. That's my personal opinion, though. Um, Shiloh, I tried to apply points in ACDC. It referred to the amount entered as expense. Is that correct? I received an error message, so I went back to process. Just curious if the term expense or call it revenue. Oh, thank you, Sabrina, for the Travel Pros website. Thank you, thank you. Um, that's a great question. Denise and Julie, do you
Yeah,
know,
they just refer to it as expense. It might just be a translation difference or whatnot, but it is what it is.
okay. A couple people are saying that they actually received that error message as well. And if I'm not mistaken,
What kind of an error message is it?
um, oh, there's a thank you,
Right.
William, for giving us the screenshot there. The credit could not be processed for the following reason.
Yeah,
Out of
so
range.
amount out of range, it likely means that you have a event date that precedes the membership. So I can let me sign in and I'll double check it, but that kind of an error sounds to me like the you're trying to credit somebody for a date before they actually join the program.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that personally.
Um,
Interesting, interesting. Okay, well, why don't we take that away and just confirm that for sure? Um, I mean, Denise, if that were
mhm.
the case, then do you feel there would be any um harm in using a date that's like a bit later, or do you think that would be
No,
not?
also I think there might be a problem with the amount.
Oh, let's see.
It might
Oh,
actually be
wow.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
No, yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
That's a
sorry,
lot
I
of
didn't actually look at the numbers.
okay.
Yeah.
That could also, you know what? That could also just raise a red
Yeah.
flag as maybe that's a lot.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Um, William, is that in fact the number? That much? It could be an error there too. It could just be a red flag of, oh, there will be. Um, Needs to be oh, okay, yeah. Kim, will be able to find this presentation? I missed the first 10 minutes. Of course, yes. So I will be sending out a follow-up email. To be honest, it will probably be tomorrow morning, if not later tonight. But regardless, I will be sending out this and all of the links to everything. And of course, I've linked everything in the presentation as well. If you do have trouble finding anything, just let me know and I'm more than happy to send it to you. Did anyone else have any questions or anything else? Anyone want to come off mute? No? Okay, great. So I guess, oh, and Shiloh, thank you for the, oh, credit cannot be processed following bad request. That's interesting. And I apologize, is your client, have you confirmed if they're a meeting planner? I'm wondering if this would be rectified tomorrow.
Uh, yeah, the bad request, that one is the one that comes up often when your login credentials do not match Hotel Link. So I
Oh.
yeah, I've had this situation with other hotels where if you're trying to credit the points and you have not linked your Hotel Link account in DataWeb, or you have a Hotel Link account that is um, not the right level. So
Okay.
it will give you that kind of an error.
Yeah, she just said she was successful in Hotel Link, so it sounds like that is a part of the ACDC
Yeah.
weirdness that's happening in the back end. So I apologize about
Yeah, which
that.
is, yes, exactly. I think what Julie was discussing in her section there.
Okay. All right. So we will get you sorted then. Like I said, when I send my follow-up email tomorrow or later tonight, I will be sending their email that explains the process and getting that fixed for you. So hopefully we'll get that fixed and sorted and you'll be able to use ACDC going forward.
And
But thank you for bringing that concern up. Oh, sorry,
yeah, no
Denise.
problem. And also for William, Stacy Burlat, the image that you sent, her membership does precede So I think it could be either one of these things. It could be a membership problem, but it also could be the amount that that he's trying to post,
Okay.
because it's quite large, so it might be over their threshold.
Okay. William, if you don't mind, if you need more help on that, please by all means email us. Um, and we can kind of try to sort it out from there. But yeah, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Um, Alina, I went into the Travel Pros Accor link and it mentions luxury properties. What hotels are included on that program? Way back it was called Star for travel agents. Again, I apologize. I'm not as close to that program at all anymore. Um, you would either have to scour the Travel Pros website, there might be something on it, or like I said, Alina, if you email me really quick, or IM me on Teams, I will get you in touch with those who are responsible for that program. My pleasure. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, if you think of anything later, again, it doesn't matter what hotel and what region you're from. I'm always happy to help, or I can at least put you in touch with those who can help. So, by all means, let me know. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful rest of your day, and I will be sending up the follow-up very soon. Thank you, everyone, for attending.